Joining me right now is your Majesty, Angela Magana. She will be fighting at RIZIN 12 on August 12th versus Kanako Murata. What's going on, Angela?
Nothing. I'm actually very impressed that you were able to pronounce my last name so well. Thank you.
Well, I grew up with a lot of Mexicans that, and they speak Spanish, so I'm kind of used to it a little bit.
I can tell. Good job.
Thank you. Um, Before we get into the RIZIN talk, I wanted to ask you about, being released by the UFC. You became somewhat of a controversial figure during your time with the promotion. Are there any regrets moving forward?
No regrets at all. Honestly, what's very interesting is when I was with the UFC and I had my last fight, um, I would have been getting ready for the nationals to try to get onto the national team in Puerto Rico. Excuse me. Um, but I wouldn't have been able to do that in the UFC. To be on the national team and compete and try to go for the Olympics. And now, I'm able to do that because they wouldn't even allow like Anderson Silva to compete in Taekwondo. They don't allow you. They didn't even allow people to do charity boxing matches. So I wasn't able to have that opportunity, and I just feel like that's this is the last year that I could even go for it with my age. I mean, maybe I could do it, but I think this is the last feasible without having to do lots of extra stuff to keep myself young. Lots of lots of stuff they have to do when you get older as an athlete. So I felt like that the window of opportunity was closing in on me, and now I can do this. I could fight for Invicta. I have a wrestling match in October, one in November, and the nationals in December. So then I get onto the team and hopefully win the Pan Americans, win the Central Americans, and make it into the, or not win, but get, place and be able to go into Japan. So it's really interesting. Like I was having a practice and I was training, and it's hardcore practice. It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. The Olympic coaches and most of the people are on the national team that I train with. And I was thinking, I can train for a fight easy. This is the hardest part of an MMA training camp would be that wrestling, that hardcore grinding wrestling. And so I was thinking, I could fight. I was telling my coach, I could do MMA after a really good couple nights of training. And all of a sudden I got the message, ding, are you available? And so it was really awesome. And then in my mind, I'm thinking Japan 2020, Japan. And boom, Japan came. And guess who what it is? She's a wrestler. Like, what more? It's amazing that that's who I get to face. Somebody who is a high level wrestler. She does MMA. So I get to test out my wrestling against somebody who does MMA. And on top of all of this, um, Japan is a dream. It's the birthplace of martial arts. Like, I may not be Japanese, but I have that samurai spirit in me. I have that Bushido spirit in me. And I'm very happy to go to Japan and be able to compete there. I'm really excited about that part. It's a dream.
Definitely, most people, it is a dream for them to go to Japan. And luckily for you, you get to go to Japan, and maybe, like you said, in 2020, you'll go back as an Olympian, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I have a good chance. I mean, like for me, I was telling the team, the coaches, like, my dream is just to, okay, first to make it onto a national team. To do that, let alone at my age. I'm nearly 35 in less than a month, in like a week. Um, so to be able to be on a national team at 35, 36, and then to even make it to the Olympics, they're like, Angela, we gotta. They're like already talking about me training different places, and even like if I place in these tournaments, I'll get funded by the government like every month, thousands of dollars to be able to compete to do what I want. And they're like telling me to think bigger, like of going like to some other camp to train with some high level women to compete and place in the Olympics. I mean, so I'm like, well, that's awesome, and now that's my dream. But at first, it was just even to have the opportunity to do what I'm doing. So I feel completely happy and blessed, and honestly, that's going to take more of a forefront for me in the end of 2019 and 2020. It's going to be my main thing will be that not fighting for a short period of time.
Definitely. Now, this training camp, of course, you've been focusing on your wrestling, but this camp hasn't been without obstacles. I heard that you lost some blood work that you were supposed to send to RIZIN. And then
I
I
have
saw
no
something about a
idea.
coach, one of your coaches, that fell in love with the hooker and had some mouth sores. Is that
No,
true
no, no, that was
story?
the training partner. That was
Oh,
the training
training
partner I talked
partner.
about on Twitter. No, no, not even a training partner. He's too big for me. I have a boxers. Um, I have a boxing gym and I manage boxers and I coach and I have another coach, the best coach in the island actually, Miguel Coto's old team, his the main coach over there. I have him now, but this guy like he moved from the hills. I thought he was like this guy. He's just 22. I thought he was this um I thought he was like a really good guy. I'm probably like would almost hook up one of my younger friends with him. Like I thought he was a really decent guy. And all of a sudden he moves from the hills to the city and he comes to the gym with this like shit on his face. And then I can tell like something's going on. I'm like looking at his and he's got these sores in his mouth and I'm like and I know that he likes these hookers. So I'm like, oh come on. I know what his and I kicked him out until he got rid of that shit.
Oh,
It wasn't a
definitely
coach,
need to do
it
that.
was one of my boxers. And um although boxing is a part of mixed martial arts and everything, it's not really a martial art. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, uh, it was gross.
Yeah.
And I don't want that in my gym. Like, cause you can get, like, honestly, I've heard of mat herpes. I've heard of people. I've seen it on the Ultimate Fighter. It was the first place I ever seen that stuff years ago. But the guy got kicked off because he had herpes on his skin. So I'm afraid that like that if that touches the pad or you sweat that on my mat, you're out. So like I'm okay, like I'm not cool with that stuff in my gym. So I kicked him out. But even worse is I have a blood disease where I have to get transfusions. And so I was going back and forth with my insurance on covering it. And they took up like they took over the usually it's like within a day and it took like 7 days, 9 days for them to get it. And then so I wasn't able to get the treatments that I need, which takes me almost 6 hours sitting in a chair, which is shitty to do. And before they can give me my treatments, they give me like Benadryl to make sure that I don't react to the other person's blood. In case I guess there's just different reactions that could happen. So I'm really drowsy. So now I have to do that during like prime training camp when I lost that, and then DHL to get my Japanese visa. For some reason, they have to send it here. Well, it got here a week and a half ago, but they never called me, and I called them and like we don't have the right number, and I was like, can I change it? And they're like, no, security purposes, this and that. And then I told them and I had to be in one place for 9 hours. I'm like, I can't do that right now, and I have all these medicals to do, brain scans, like all this stuff they want you to do, and so I tell them to come between 8 and 5 at my doctor's office. My doctor said, we'll take it. Well, they delivered at 7, and they told me they'd be there between 8 and 5. So I still haven't got my visa. So I'm having huge problems getting stuff delivered here. It's always like this in different fight camps. So there's always lots of obstacles, really. It's just part of it.
Do you manage yourself or do you have someone helping you out with all of these things?
Yeah, yeah, I have somebody helping me out. I have a manager, but those are the things that still, like, they can't go to the doctor for me and they can't, you know, sign for me. Well, and I did that. I did have put it to where somebody else could sign for me, but it's not even stuff out of our hands. It's just stupid things they have to do. I think it is like, so then I had to get a referral to go back to my hematologist, right? Well, I didn't realize every visit I have to have one, so then I had to go back and get 5 referrals for all the transfusions and all the stuff I needed. And then they put the wrong treatment number of what I needed. So then I had to go back. You can only go between certain hours. It's been a headache. The best part is training. The best part is being in the gym, like training and getting ready for this. So I'm just super excited. I can't wait to get on that plane and get to Japan. And it's just a dream come true.
With the blood disease that you're dealing with, you have to get treatment. When you were diagnosed, what did you find out that was not really normal in your life because of your blood disease?
I would say my my training thus far, honestly, my MMA career, it started with like heart pains. I was getting heart pains, and I guess pretty much my body didn't have enough blood. I thought my body was coping, and it made itself like enlarged, and was doing some weird stuff, and it was all because I didn't have enough oxygen in my blood. So when they figured that out, uh, I was able to start getting treatments, um, infusions of iron. They had to start doing that, and then also red blood cell treatments and whole blood. So I I've been having to do all that, and then with the UFC, that was really horrible to deal with them with that. I wasn't able to get my iron. I wasn't able to get. They didn't approve the blood cell. And it's like I needed this stuff, and then they didn't give me answers. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. Like you still have to have the TUEs for these guys for certain things, but I don't see why you should get one to have an IV of iron or to get treatment for a blood disease, a legitimate blood disease. I just don't understand. So it was hard. I couldn't even get my right treatments for my last UFC fight. But now that I have the treatments I need and I have electricity, I can cook whenever I want. I can sleep with the AC on. I can sleep now and I can eat and whoo, look at that. I got muscles this time. I'm holding my muscle. Last time, my day of my weigh-in, of my fight, they weighed us in. I was fully clothed, fully hydrated. Like, I pretty much, my teeth were drowning. I was so hydrated. I was full of food. As soon as I got to the venue, they weighed us. I was just surprised. They never weighed us like that before. And I was 117. I was like, oh my God. And even the UFC guy was a really nice guy. Chinese and Puerto Rican. He was. It was funny. He was like, oh, it's okay. Just you had a healthy weight cut. Like they could tell I kind of tripped out for a second. And she weighed 132, I heard. So I lost a lot, and I don't ever weigh that light. I lost a huge amount of muscle during the hurricane. I didn't have electricity or water and, for 62 days, right before, during the fight, like during the last part of my fight there. So now I have my blood diseases fixed. I have electricity. Do you know what's really, really weird about electricity? So the hard thing was cooking, but do you know what the worst part about having electricity, honestly, is laundry. Especially if you're training twice a day, so you have all that laundry. I have 3 kids. So it was just like that laundry took so much. And I would rather, and I was talking to my daughter the other day, I would rather go without water than electricity. Because I could figure out water. I can pot water in, I can get it in. But without not sleeping and not being able to eat, like, I remember getting hungry and crying because I was like, I have to go to the store. I have to sit in line for hours. It takes hours to get there. Then I have to buy the gas to even get to the store. And then I have to cook and I have to get coals. I have to turn to coals before I can even cook. And, oh, it was hell. It was hell. And I was getting ready for a fight. What's wrong with me? But you know, though, I felt like I had the pride of Puerto Rico on my back, and I felt like being able to push through that and fight through that and getting onto that stage was winning enough, was to prove that. And no, that didn't put us down. Like, no matter what happened, I was screaming to the world that thousands of people were dying, and nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. I saw the people in the fucking streets dying. I saw people dying, and nobody would believe me. Nobody would fucking believe me. And I just felt like I had to fight. Like I had to prove that we could fight out of this. And there was I played the anthem of Puerto Rico. Sorry, I can't believe I'm fucking crying. I played the anthem of Puerto Rico, not the one that they watered down, the one that talks about what the people have gone through. And I had handfuls of people tell me it made them cry. It brought them chills to hear that anthem and to know everything that we've been through as an island and the neglect that we've dealt with. To get onto that stage and to be able to even be there was a victory for us. So now I have electricity, I can eat, and everything is going right. And now I get to challenge myself, and now that I have my blood fixed, and everything is going good, I'm just so happy, so excited, so happy to have electricity, so happy to be able to live my dream. I get to live my dream. I get to go to Japan. I get to fight. I mean, UFC is one thing; it's a pinnacle, but I didn't get to go to Japan. That's like people they get buried in their D's in Japan. Samurai, you know. I want to be buried in my game one day.
You said that you were screaming and telling people what was going on during the hurricane. And nowadays, it's hard to believe what the news portrays on TV, right? In your eyes,
Really
has the region recovered?
Not at all. All the people in my neighborhood's houses who've blown away are still not rebuilt. They still wait every day. This guy comes every day. I buy his dog food every month. He comes every day. He's like camped out somewhere. He comes every day just like waiting because Steven told me you're gonna come, and they still haven't come. They haven't got any help. The money that I raised got like $700 materials, and I got some guys to build the man's house that was living in my house, to rebuild some of his stuff. The government still hasn't been here. Now they I have electricity and water. I'm okay. It's the people who houses blew away and don't have anything. And there's still a lot of people without electricity or water. Um, the the kids who I've adopted, their family that they get to see on that was adopted out from, the grandparents they get to go see, they didn't have electricity until a couple months ago. And people are still dying. They're still like in these camps, like in these cots with the water leaking on them, and they're still dying. They're still dying. They're still like people dying every day, and there's nothing being done about it. It's crazy. And there's like, but the really weird thing about it was right when it happened, the hotels were open, but not the hospitals. Like, your family was dying, and they tell you not to bring them in, just to bury them in your yard. Could you imagine this happening in LA, like, or anywhere in the U.S. and we're part of the U.S. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So for me to have been able to do what I did, and to live through that, and just the ridiculousness of it, like, and to be there on that stage, and hang that flag, and I had the pride of Puerto Rico on my back, and I still didn't give up. The ref had to stop me. They had to stop that fight. I was still fighting. I was still moving, and he stopped it. Um, but yeah. So now there's there's no excuses. I get to see the full potential. I get to experience myself at my full potential. Like, the only way that I can, I've explained this before, but it's such a good way for me to put this is, imagine, how old are you?
Me, I'm 38.
Oh wow, you look great.
No, thank you.
But some people always hold their age well too. So could you imagine at 38 years old, all the wisdom that you have, getting to go back to high school and doing it all over again? That's how I feel. I fought, I think, 11 years. I've been fighting professionally. So I have all these years of everything I've done, everything I've seen, everything I've competed, all of everything. And now I have this body that can keep up. And I always thought it was like different things. I did everything perfect. I was such a perfectionist. Like, I'd be in training camp with Beck. I'd be in training camp with all these other people, doing everything like more strict than them, training more than them, but not getting any results. And it was, now I know it was the blood. I didn't have the oxygen. I didn't even, like, even in my brain, things make better sense. Things click. I see it clearer. So now I get to experience that, and I get to come to my full potential, and I get to do it in Japan.
Your opponent, she is a highly touted prospect, a great wrestler. You also have been deep into the wrestling, preparing for the Olympics. What is the X factor in this matchup? You're going in with your full potential, like you just mentioned. What is the X factor for you?
I don't think anybody's really been able to see me at my full potential. It's going to be really hard to get ready for me. Number one, like, I'm not even sure what somebody's going to say I'm good at. I didn't show very well in my UFC fights. Um, I guess I could just say I'm tough. I can take a punch. So I think it's going to be hard for her to prepare for me. Um, Now my cardio is my weapon. Before it wasn't. Uh, I'm a veteran. I don't know. How old is she? I've been fighting, I think, like, since she was in grade school.
Yes.
Um, which can work against some people. I mean, younger, younger athletes. But I mean, if you look at who's always dominated in the UFC or in championships. It's always kind of the older people, the people in their prime. So I feel like I have that I'm a veteran of the sport. I've been in it for a long time. I think I have almost triple the amount of fights to her or something, or I have a lot of fights. So I just feel like it's gonna be a hard night for her. And I think I might be a little bit bigger than her. I'm not sure, but I know they don't cut a lot of weight, so I've gained a lot of muscle back.
It seems like it. It looks like it.
I'm so happy about that.
Going over to Japan, they're more focused on the fight, not really wins and losses. Is it is it a different approach for you to go to into a promotion like this compared to the UFC where you have to win?
I didn't really think of it like this, honestly. So this is like news to me right now. Um, Honestly, like that's not really something in my head. I'm just so excited to perform, like with this, with my blood fixed. It's still not even 100%. I'm not even 50%, and I feel amazing. So I'm like, I'm just excited to get to 100%. It's just sucks that I had to, it's prolonged. But I've not really thought of that. I mean, honestly, it's been a long time since I've won a fight, so that really wasn't just winning has been a goal of mine. So thinking that I don't really think that far ahead. Honestly, I'm very much in the moment.
Getting blood transfusion throughout training camp, you said you feel the best. It's not even 50%. But has it been something that has hindered you a little bit in your camp?
For me, for what I get done, with the Benadryl that I have to get, it's about 5 hours.
Wow.
5 hours. So I have to sit there for 5, and then I'm like so tired afterwards. But I just drink some coffee and go train. Like now that I have my blood fixed, nothing. And then that's why I kept the fight before was because I had fixed my blood when I was doing my training camp. I feel like superhuman because all of a sudden I feel like I have this extra oxygen that I've never had in my life. So all of a sudden now I have the muscle that I lost last time. But I didn't really think I had lost it. I didn't realize it. And it was really weird the other day. I still gotta take this picture. I was looking at my UFC shorts from when I fought Michelle Watterson,
Mhm.
and then I was looking at my last one from when I fought what's her name, and there's a huge difference. I was tiny. I was smaller than my 12-year-old daughter, what she's wearing right now. She can't even fit into it. But nobody could have told me not to fight. I would have still fought. So nothing, whatever.
You also, during your time in Puerto Rico, have opened a new gym, Team La Perla. Am I saying that
Team,
right?
yeah. Perla, la Perla, yeah.
La
Yeah, keep
Perla.
going.
Okay. Could you talk about the team you have created there?
Yeah, well, okay. So, I can't take all the credit.
Mm.
The guy, the main boxing coach, we started the gym. It was just like in the basketball court while we were building. So the main guy is the boxing coach Miguel Cotto from where he was at his gym, Bairoa in Caguas, Puerto Rico. Um, this man named Gabriel, my boxing coach, was the main coach there for 8 or 9 years. So I stole him. He's now our boxing coach, and all the guys who were there left to come here, and these guys travel over an hour a day just to come train, which is unheard of. There's over 500 boxing clubs. There's a boxing club in every neighborhood, and it only takes an hour and a half to get across the island in one direction. So it's unheard of. That's how good this guy is. Like some people would switch and go over there, and they win all 5, 6 of their fights under him with knockouts. And then when he left, he started losing. So they know what to do. So they came to us, and we started signing fighters, and we have a bunch turned pro under us because these guys have had like over 100 amateur fights under him. So they followed him. And so now we've got a huge team of boxers in a very short period of time. He's a very young boxing coach to be doing this. We just had a good bunch of, we had a good victories in Florida this week for our team. And we have an amateur boxing team. My daughter's had 5 fights under us. She competes boxing and jujitsu. My other two do jujitsu too. Yeah, we have a lot of boxing. We have some very high level jujitsu people. It's pretty interesting. I have such a beautiful, beautiful spot that people want to come to me. I don't have to go anywhere.
You've trained all over the world, in Thailand, in the States. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh
now
yeah,
you are in Puerto Rico, and they just had an earthquake, and the country is in devastation. The type of atmosphere.
hurricane. We had a
Oh,
hurricane.
sorry, hurricane. Um, what is it? The athletes that you have at your gym, is there a different type of hunger that they come in with compared to other places around the world?
I would definitely say yes, and that was part of the reason that I moved here was the passion that they have for the sport. I'd say we're definitely way more spoiled in the U.S. and compared to Thailand. I mean, those guys are happy with they sleep on the dirt floors, in Thailand, and they don't even have hot showers, and they're the happiest people in the world, and they don't have anything. Um, So also here, these guys, they work all day long and they train in the morning. They work all day long. So construction, all of our guys work construction on our team. We got them all hooked up with it. Um, we actually, the people who, investors who, what's really cool, the investors who built the gym who have been donated a lot of the stuff, not even investors, they just donated, um, own a construction company. And 5 of our fighters work for them.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones who got them the jobs with them. During the hurricane, after the hurricane, there was no jobs. So we helped our fighters get these jobs and all this. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, the whole thing that's worked out. But I forgot what your original question was.
The hunger of the
Oh, yeah,
fighters.
they're just, it reignited something for me out here. The hunger, how they're just, they do it. And just for the love, for the passion, for no other reason for that. And it's the island here, like I said, so every boxing gym is free. Nobody pays. We don't charge anybody either. But we don't get paid. The government doesn't help us out. They don't give us money. But the government pays for all these boxing gyms. And they pay the trainers. Trainers get paid like teachers. Boxing gym, they don't have to pay for the property. And it's in every neighborhood. There's a few not boxing gyms. So it's a huge part of the culture, like it is in Thailand. It's pretty interesting that it's such a big part of the culture, the way the government pays for it. Because in the States, you can't walk into a boxing gym and train for free. Everything's free. The only way you start making money is when you turn pro and you start having a lot of fights. Um, so yeah, the passion for it. I love it out here. People are die hard, and they just. My coach, my jiu-jitsu coach, his name is Manny Ray. He's the one that brought jiu-jitsu to Puerto Rico. Um, he loves the MMA. Like the other day, I'm training with him. I punched him, and he started smiling. Like I looked at him. I'm like, this guy's crazy, but he loves it. Like you hear him talking about. He's old school. Old school was back with Hoyas, getting him ready for UFC one. He's like that. So he loves it, and just we don't even have a sign at our gym. His gym, the jiu-jitsu gym, doesn't have a sign. It teaches the MMA and jiu-jitsu. Our gym, we don't even have a sign. It's not commercial. It's not for that. It's just for the samurai spirit. It's for the warrior. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with the applause. It's all about the fight. It's all about the spiritual aspect, the warrior aspect of it.
You stated earlier that you are living in the moment. Is RIZIN the promotion that you are going to fight for the next couple of years? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how they treat me. No. They've been wonderful. I really like them. And I can't wait to get to Japan. I would love to. I think I'm a good fit. I'm a good match. I'll be honest with you. And I think I'm going to show it. I'm going to do a little screenshot and show the world how you get shit done. I messaged RIZIN myself, actually. They were my first pick. And I had other people messaging me. And I was in conversations with lots of different organizations, but I picked RIZIN. It was the first one that I decided. And I messaged. I said, hey, I want to be the queen of RIZIN. What do you think? And that's what I messaged them. And the rest is history.
That's awesome. I guess you got to go out there and get what you want. If you're a fighter, you can't just sit back and expect, promotions to come after you, huh?
I've never had a manager. I've gotten every one of my fights. I mean, I can show you every message I've sent fight promotions. I'm feisty, and I get everything I want in life. I mean, I got a gym on the ocean. These properties are millions of dollars. Donald Trump tried to come and buy each property for millions. People won't sell out. I was donated the property. I was donated the materials, the work. I mean, I get everything I want in life. I get to, everybody can be like, oh, you didn't win your fight, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Motherfucker, I fought. I got to live my dream. I've been traveling the world for the last 11 years as a single mom. Living my life. I'm happy. Like, just because I didn't win the fight, not somebody has to lose. Like, just because I didn't win the fight, or because I'm not successful in your eyes, in most people's eyes for not winning, is like, for me, my success is just getting in that cage and fighting after the life I've had, after the shit I go through. Whew. The fact that I can live my dreams and get paid to do that. Woo! Wow. I'm happy.
There is no question that you have been through a lot in the past couple of years.
The fucked up thing is it's like, that was like the beginning of my life. I'm come from. I mean, I was born addicted to heroin. My mom was a heroin addict. I had some horrendous things I went through as a child. Um, you know, and then I single mom, just heroin addict parents. Hard. It was a hard life. And then as soon as I became an adult, life got way easier. And it's just like these different things keep coming at me. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. I love my life. I'm in love with my life, and I always have been. I don't I don't look at it as bad.
One question, last question. The cyborg situation. She completed her anger management courses, and it says that she got all her charges dropped. What do you think about this situation? Is it still going on, or what's happening with it?
There's still the civil aspect that has not been dealt with. There's 2 years that we have to deal with that. Um, but yeah, I suggested I should take anger management. The woman has a lot of steroid use, and so I felt that some anger management would be good, so that she wouldn't have to get so crazy on other people like she did me, and abuse them and possibly jeopardize her freedom. So I did the favor to her and had to give her some anger management. And so she finished them. I dropped the charges. And now she just has to be responsible for the medical bills.
All right. August 12th, RIZIN 12. It's going to be great to see you fight again. It's your long return. You said that you are the best version of yourself that can be.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm a little stumped, like with all these medicals and all this stupid shit I've been dealing with. I haven't really taken much time to think about what I'm going to weigh in, but I sure seen what Rain Kai weighed in. I never seen that. I never seen that until I was looking for, like scouting my girl. Wait, do you know much about the weigh-ins in Japan?
Well,
do you watch them? Like,
it's very
loose. That was
loose.
crazy, right?
It's very loose. That's all I could really say.
That was really crazy though. Like that, I thought like was that really over the? That's over the top in the U.S. But am I wrong for thinking the Japanese are more modest? Well, or is that not?
Well, they are more modest. Asian countries are usually more modest, more conservative. But when it's a show, the rules are different. And Rin Nakai, she's famous for doing, over the top outfits. So I'm thinking that if you want to do the same thing, why not?
Yeah, but for weigh-ins, has she always done that? For weigh-ins or just like those videos that she does?
Oh, she's always been like that. She's always had the crazy outfits and the revealing, clothes. So yeah. It's no big deal. And and every person that goes there, they are free to do what they want, as long as it's not offensive, as long as you're not attacking anybody, they let you do what you want to do.
So I'm kind of at a loss for what I should do because we've just had this like strict uniform policy for the last 3 years. I've been doing 4 years, so now I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I don't even know what I'm gonna do yet. But I'm gonna do something fun.
Oh, definitely.
I might walk out. I'm making that fun.
Darren Cruikshank, he's got that whole American thing going on when he goes over there. So, now everybody knows him as the American guy. Walk out to the Hulk Hogan theme song and everything.
I didn't know that. I like Darren, but I didn't know that. That's funny. I'll have to check it out.
Well, you'll figure something out, and thank you for your time, Angela, and good luck to you.
Thanks. Thank you. Have a good night.